Hi, my name's Hannah. I'm a doctor and English teacher from England. In today's video, I would like to talk about how to use the preparation time for the Occupational English Test speaking section. As I'm sure you know, for speaking in the OET, you'll get 2 role-play cards. For each card, you'll have 3 minutes to read the card and to prepare, following which you'll have 5 minutes to complete the role-play with the interlocutor, or essentially an actor. 3 minutes is a reasonable amount of time, and in this video I want to talk through how you can make the most use of these 3 minutes with a 5-step technique to maximize the use of that time. I'm going to explain each step of my technique, and then I'm going to use an actual OET sample speaking test and in real time show you how I would use those 3 minutes by speaking aloud as if I was speaking in my head. Okay, so step number 1, breathe. It sounds silly, but genuinely the first thing you should do is take a deep breath in and out to help calm your nerves. With any speaking or other practical exam, a huge element is managing your own psychology. It's normal to feel very anxious as you've spent a lot of time and probably a lot of money to be able to sit the exam, and those nerves can negatively affect you on the day. Therefore, it's really, really important to calm your nerves, and as part of that, to tell yourself that all you can do is your best. You've prepared as much as you can prepare, and it's time to banish any negative thoughts and think positively about how you've passed exams before and you can and will pass this one. Once we've done that for a couple of seconds, we can move on to step 2. The obvious part, we need to read the card. Make sure you read the card carefully and thoroughly, and that you understand everything on it, exactly your role and which tasks you have to complete. Now we come on to step 3. This involves rereading the card. And what we need to do is we need to look for the element of tension. So, the OET website explains that there is likely to be an element of tension in your role-play scenario. These are what might occur in day-to-day practice in real life in your interactions with patients. For example, an anxious patient, or an angry patient, or a patient who has a very set agenda of what they want to achieve, which might be quite different to what you can offer as their healthcare professional. Once you've had a chance to do a few practice cards, you can see that it's actually quite easy to predict what that area of tension will be, where it's likely to come up in the speaking, and therefore you can start to plan on how to mitigate that. The clues really are on the card, and if you've predicted it beforehand, it won't be a surprise, it won't throw you off when the patient comes out with something provoking tension. And this is related to step 4 as well, which, while you're skim reading your card for the second time to predict that area of tension, also have in the back of your mind which areas of the communication criteria from the mark scheme are being covered by which bullet point. For example, there is likely to be one task that involves some information gathering and at least one task involving some information giving. So we need to think about using the different skills from the mark scheme in these different areas of the card to make sure we're maximizing our communication marks. Finally, step 5, another very important step. That is to practice in your head your introduction and your opening question. Too often I see students in mock role-play scenarios mumbling their opening, being a bit unsure, including lots of ums and ahs, which can really lose the marks for fluency, and there's no reason to. Once you have your card, you know your role, and you can practice exactly how you're going to introduce yourself, and you know what the first task is on the card, so you can practice how you're going to open the consultation and what kind of question you can use. If you have time, you can even rehearse these a couple of times. And this means when it comes to starting the role play, you can confidently introduce yourself and you can confidently ask that opening question. Not only will those give you marks for fluency and appropriate use of language, etc., this will also help you feel confident by opening confidently, and that confidence is likely to then carry on through the card and help you maximize your performance. Okay, what I'll do now is we'll use one of the sample cards on the OET website, and I'll pop a little timer up and I'll show you in real time how I would use the 3 minutes reading time. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm using one of the nursing candidate cards available for free on the OET website. Start the 3-minute timer now. Whew. Okay, Hannah, you've passed exams before. You can do it again. I believe in you. Right, the setting, I'm on a home visit. I'm a nurse. The general practitioner has asked you to visit a patient who has diabetes. Until recently, the diabetes has been moderately well controlled by diet and oral medication. However, recently, the patient's blood sugars have been high, and the doctor has decided to commence insulin injections. The doctor wants you to show the patient how to give himself or herself the insulin injections. Find out how the patient feels about insulin injections. Explain slowly and clearly the whole process of giving the injection, including using clean needles, administering the injection, sites for injection, etc. Try to reassure the patient that he/she will be able to manage the injections. Emphasize the importance of safe needle disposal, suitable containers, proper care and handling. Okay, so let's skim through this again. Patient's diabetes has been monitored, has been controlled by diet and oral meds. Doctor wants me to show the patient how to give himself the injections. Find out how the patient feels about injections. Okay, that's my information gathering, so I need to use those techniques there. Explain slowly the whole process. Okay, so that's my information giving. Try to reassure the patient that they'll be able to manage. Okay, so I think this is going to be where they're going to be anxious because I need to reassure them, and they might be thinking that they won't be able to manage. So I need to think, I'm going to have to use some very reassuring phrases. I'm going to acknowledge that they're anxious, and I'm going to give them a confidence boost that lots of other patients manage and that I'll be there to support them. Emphasize the importance of safe needle disposal. Okay, so that's some more information giving. Okay, so my introduction. Right, hello, my name's Hannah. I'm a nurse who's coming here to visit you. No, I'm not sure about that. Hi, my name's Hannah. I'm the nurse. The doctor has sent me regarding your insulin. Is it okay if I just check your name? Perfect, I like that one. Hello, my name's Hannah. The doctor has sent me with regards to your insulin injections. First off, can I just check your name? Okay, excellent. I'm happy with that. And my opening question. Okay. Firstly, can I just check how you feel about starting insulin? Firstly, can I just check how you're feeling about starting insulin? Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm ready. Okay, so as you can see, that's roughly 3 minutes. And in reality, if you're reading in your head, you can probably read a little bit faster than that. So that is my 5-step technique of how to use the reading time effectively. First, take a deep breath and manage those nerves so you can sound more confident. Second, read the card, make sure you understand everything, particularly your role. Step 3, anticipate the area of tension and think about how you can resolve that. Step 4, think about the areas of the mark scheme and which techniques you'll need to use in different parts of the card. Step 5, practice your introduction and your opening question so you can say them confidently when the role play starts. I hope you found that really useful. As always, let me know in the comments if there's anything else you'd like to see or if you have any questions. Check out some of my other videos about the OET, and of course hit subscribe so that you can stay up to date with any new videos that I make. Thanks! Bye!